You are not finished. You are still becoming. Feeling lost, tired, or behind does not mean your story is over. Your current situation is only a chapter, not the final page. Remember why you started. When you feel like quitting, return to the reason you began. Your original dream can remind you why the struggle is worth surviving. Your hardest moments are building your strongest self. Pain, rejection, failure, and disappointment can develop resilience, discipline, patience, and courage that comfort never could stop. Comparing your journey to someone else's success, does not mean you are failing. Your timeline is different, and progress can be invisible before it becomes undeniable. Take one more step. Even when you cannot see the whole road, you don't need to have everything figured out. Sometimes winning means simply getting up, trying again, and taking the next small step. Do not give up on the person you are becoming. The future version of you may be closer than you think. Keep going. Not because everything is easy, but because your life still has possibilities you haven't discovered yet. There will be moments in life when you look at yourself and wonder, is this really all I can become? There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels harder than it should. There will be nights when you question every decision you have made, every dream you have chased, and every sacrifice you have given. You may look around and see other people moving forward while you feel completely stuck. You may believe that everyone else has figured life out while you are still trying to understand your own path. And in those moments, your mind may tell you something dangerous. Maybe you are finished. But listen to me carefully. You are not finished. You are still becoming. What you are experiencing right now is not the complete story of your life. It is only a chapter. And sometimes the chapter you are living through is painful, confusing, and difficult to understand. But a difficult chapter does not mean the entire book is going to have a bad ending. Think about how many times you have already survived something you once believed you could not survive. There was a time when you thought a certain disappointment would destroy you. There was a time when you thought you would never recover from a failure, a rejection, a heartbreak, a financial struggle, or a personal loss. Yet somehow you kept moving. Maybe slowly, maybe with tears in your eyes, maybe without knowing where you were going. But you kept going. That matters. You may not give yourself enough credit for how far you have already come. Sometimes we become so focused on where we want to be that we completely forget to appreciate the distance we have already traveled. You look at the mountain ahead and complain about how far you still have to climb, but you forget to turn around and see the mountains you have already conquered. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You are not the same person you were 1 year ago. You are not even the same person you were 6 months ago. Every experience has taught you something. Every mistake has given you information. Every disappointment has shown you something about yourself, about people, about life, and about what truly matters. Even the moments that seemed meaningless were shaping you in ways you could not see at the time. Growth does not always feel like growth. Sometimes growth feels like confusion. Sometimes growth feels like loneliness. Sometimes growth feels like starting over. Sometimes growth feels like losing something you thought you needed. And sometimes growth feels like standing in the middle of uncertainty with no idea what comes next. But just because you cannot see the progress does not mean progress is not happening. A seed does not look like a tree when it is buried underground. From the surface, it may appear that nothing is happening. But beneath the soil, something is changing. Roots are forming. Strength is developing. Preparation is taking place. Your life can be like that. You may be in a season where nothing seems to be happening. You may be working hard without seeing immediate results. You may be trying to improve yourself while nobody notices. You may be fighting battles that nobody knows about. But do not mistake invisibility for failure. Some of the most important changes in your life may happen before anyone else can see them. You are developing patience. You are developing discipline. You are learning how to stand alone. You are learning how to say no. You are learning who deserves your energy. You are learning what you truly want. You are learning what you will never tolerate again. You are learning how powerful you can become when you refuse to surrender. And perhaps the greatest transformation is happening inside your mind. The person you are becoming may require you to outgrow the person you used to be. That can be uncomfortable. You may have to leave old habits behind. You may have to stop listening to voices that constantly tell you that you are not good enough. You may have to stop allowing your past to define your future. You may have to forgive yourself for mistakes you made when you did not know what you know today. Do not punish your present self for the mistakes of your past. You were learning. You were growing. You were surviving with the knowledge and strength you had at that time. Now you know more. Now you understand more. Now you have another opportunity to make different choices. And that is the beautiful thing about life. As long as you are still here, the story can still change. You can start again. You can rebuild. You can learn a new skill. You can change your habits. You can change your environment. You can change the way you speak to yourself. You can wake up tomorrow and decide that your past will no longer control your future. You do not need permission to begin again. When you feel like giving up, there is one question you need to ask yourself before you walk away from the dream, the goal, the opportunity, or the person you are becoming. Why did you start? Go back to the beginning. Before the struggle became heavy, there was a reason you believed in yourself. There was a dream that made you excited. There was a vision that kept you awake at night. There was something inside you that said, I want more from my life. Maybe you wanted to build something. Maybe you wanted to make your family proud. Maybe you wanted freedom. Maybe you wanted to become financially independent. Maybe you wanted to prove to yourself that you were capable of achieving something you once thought was impossible. Whatever your reason was, remember it. Because sometimes the problem is not that your dream has disappeared. The problem is that exhaustion has become louder than your purpose. You are tired, and when you are tired, everything looks impossible. A mountain that once looked challenging can suddenly look impossible to climb. A goal that once excited you can suddenly feel pointless. A dream that once gave you energy can suddenly feel like a burden. But being tired does not always mean you should quit. Sometimes it means you need to rest. Sometimes it means you need to change your strategy. Sometimes it means you need to step away for a moment, breathe, recover, and then return with a stronger mind. Do not make permanent decisions during temporary moments of exhaustion. You might be closer than you realize. Think about how many people quit right before something changed. They worked for months, maybe years, and because the results did not come quickly enough, they decided it was not working. They stopped just before the breakthrough they had been preparing for. You cannot always see how close you are. That is why persistence matters. Imagine someone digging for gold. They dig 10 feet and find nothing. They dig 20 feet and find nothing. They become frustrated and walk away. Another person comes along, continues digging, and discovers gold only a few feet deeper. The difference was not always talent. The difference was persistence. Sometimes success belongs to the person who simply refuses to stop. You have to understand that every meaningful dream comes with a price. There will be days when you do not feel motivated. There will be days when nobody encourages you. There will be days when your progress is so small that you wonder whether your effort is even worth it. Those are the days when your reason becomes more important than your feelings. Motivation can disappear. Your reason must remain. When you remember why you started, you reconnect with something deeper than temporary emotion. Maybe you started because you wanted to change your family's future. Maybe you started because you were tired of living below your potential. Maybe you started because you wanted to become someone your younger self would be proud of. Maybe you started because you knew that if you did not take control of your life, years would pass and you would regret never trying. Hold on to that reason, not because you should pressure yourself every second of every day, but because your reason reminds you that your effort has meaning. There will be sacrifices. You may have to wake up earlier. You may have to work when other people are relaxing. You may have to say no to distractions. You may have to spend less time seeking approval and more time building your future. You may have to accept that not everyone will understand your journey. And that is okay. Not everyone needs to understand the dream that lives inside you. Some people will only believe in you after you succeed. Do not wait for their approval. Believe before they believe. Work before they clap. Build before they notice. Keep going when the room is silent. Because one of the greatest tests of character is whether you can continue working when there is no immediate reward. Anybody can be excited when everything is going well. Anybody can work hard when people are watching. But can you continue when nobody is watching? Can you keep practicing when nobody praises you? Can you keep learning when you feel behind? Can you keep believing when the evidence seems small? That is where transformation happens. Your dream does not need to be completed today. You just need to keep moving toward it. Sometimes we make quitting feel attractive because we expect ourselves to accomplish everything immediately. We think, if I cannot achieve this now, maybe I am not good enough. No, give yourself time. A tree does not become strong overnight. A skill does not become mastery after one attempt. A business does not become successful because of one good day. A person does not become mentally strong because they faced one difficult situation. Strength is built through repetition. You try, you fail, you learn, you adjust, you try again. That is the process. Do not be ashamed of starting over. Starting over does not erase everything you learned. You are not returning to zero. You are returning with experience. You know what did not work. You know what hurt you. You know what distracted you. You know what you need to change. That knowledge is valuable. Sometimes your first plan fails because it was never the final plan. Maybe the path you imagined is not the path you are supposed to take. That does not mean the destination is impossible. It may simply mean you need another route. So if something is not working, do not immediately say, I should give up. Ask a better question. What can I change? What can I learn? What can I do differently? Who can I learn from? What is the next step? Those questions turn helplessness into action. Remember, your dream may change as you grow, and that is okay too. You are allowed to discover that what you wanted years ago is no longer what you want today. The purpose is not to blindly chase something forever. The purpose is to live intentionally and refuse to abandon yourself simply because the journey became difficult. Your life deserves your effort. Your future deserves your patience. And the person you are becoming deserves another chance every single day. When you feel like giving up, close your eyes and remember the person who started. Remember their hope. Remember their courage. Remember the excitement they felt when they imagined a different future. Remember the promises you made to yourself. Then ask yourself honestly, am I truly finished or am I simply tired? There is a difference. If you are tired, rest. If you are confused, learn. If you are failing, adjust. If you are afraid, take a smaller step. But do not throw away your entire future because today feels difficult. The dream that once mattered to you still deserves an honest chance. Maybe you need a new plan. Maybe you need a slower pace. Maybe you need to start again. But whatever you do not let one difficult season convince you that you are incapable of creating a better one. Your reason is still there. Your potential is still there. Your future is still waiting. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can say to yourself is simply, I remember why I started, and I am not finished yet. You do not need everyone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need enough courage to take the next step. Maybe you are not where you wanted to be at this age. Maybe your career is not where you imagined it would be. Maybe your relationships did not turn out the way you expected. Maybe your dreams are taking longer than you thought they would. That does not mean you failed. Life is not a race with one universal schedule. Some people bloom early. Some people bloom later. Some people take a straight road. Others take a road full of turns, setbacks, and unexpected beginnings. Your timeline is still valid. Do not destroy your confidence because someone else reached a destination before you. You cannot compare your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. You do not know what they survived to get where they are, just as they do not know what you have survived to get where you are. So stop measuring your worth by your current circumstances. You are more than your bank account. You are more than your job. You are more than your failures. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than the opinions people have about you. And you are certainly more than the worst thing that ever happened to you. Your current situation does not have the authority to decide your final destination. If today you feel broken, that does not mean you will always feel broken. If today you feel lost, that does not mean you will always be lost. If today you feel weak, that does not mean strength is not being built inside you. If today you feel like giving up, take a breath. Slow down. Give yourself permission to rest. But do not confuse resting with quitting. You can pause without surrendering. You can cry without being weak. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can be uncertain and still take action. You can have a terrible day without having a terrible life. Remember this whenever your mind tells you that you are finished. You have not seen all of your future yet. There are opportunities you have not encountered. There are people you have not met. There are places you have not seen. There are lessons you have not learned. There are versions of yourself you have not discovered. There are mornings ahead that may bring you peace. There are victories ahead that may make today's struggle finally make sense. So before you give up on yourself, remember how many times life gave you a reason to quit and you kept going anyway. You are still here. You are still learning. You are still growing. You are still becoming. And as long as you are still becoming, your story is not over. There is a truth about life that nobody can escape. Some of the strongest versions of you are created during the moments you wish you had never experienced. We all want success, but we often forget that success is not built only during comfortable seasons. It is built during the seasons when everything feels uncertain. It is built when you fail and decide to try again. It is built when someone rejects you and you refuse to let rejection define you. It is built when your plans fall apart and you find the courage to create a new plan. Your hardest moments are not automatically your weakest moments. Sometimes they are the moments when your strength is being developed. Think about the difficulties you have already experienced. There may have been moments when you felt completely alone. There may have been situations that broke your confidence. There may have been times when you worked hard and still failed. You may have trusted someone and been disappointed. You may have given everything you had to something and watched it disappear. At the time, you probably asked, "Why is this happening to me?" That question is natural, but eventually, another question becomes more powerful. What can this experience teach me? That question changes everything. Because you cannot always control what happens to you, but you can decide what you will become because of it. Pain can make you bitter, or it can make you wiser. Failure can make you stop, or it can teach you how to improve. Rejection can make you doubt yourself, or it can teach you not to depend on everyone else's approval. Disappointment can destroy your confidence, or it can reveal a strength you never knew you had. The experience itself does not determine your future. Your response does. There are people who have experienced incredible difficulties and still built incredible lives, not because they never suffered, but because they refused to let suffering become their identity. They understood something important. This happened to me, but this is not who I am. You need to understand that too. Your failure is not your identity. Your rejection is not your identity. Your difficult season is not your identity. Your mistakes are not your identity. You are still a human being with the ability to learn, change, rebuild, and grow. Sometimes life removes your comfort because it wants you to discover your capacity. When everything is easy, you may never discover how strong you actually are. You may never discover your patience until you have to wait. You may never discover your courage until you are afraid. You may never discover your discipline until motivation disappears. You may never discover your resilience until life knocks you down. The challenge reveals what comfort hides. That does not mean you should romanticize pain or pretend that difficult experiences are easy. Pain hurts. Loss hurts. Failure hurts. Disappointment hurts. You are allowed to admit that. You are allowed to say, "This is difficult." You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to feel frustrated. You are allowed to take a break. Strength does not mean pretending that nothing hurts. Strength means feeling the pain without allowing it to convince you that your life is over. You can hurt and still heal. You can fall and still rise. You can lose and still rebuild. You can be disappointed and still dream again. That is resilience. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. Resilience is the decision to keep moving despite the struggle. There will be moments when you feel like life has taken more from you than you can handle. In those moments, remember your history. Look at what you have already survived. You have survived days you thought would break you. You have survived conversations that changed you. You have survived endings you did not want. You have survived mistakes you thought you would never forgive yourself for. You have survived uncertainty. And you are still here. That means something. It means you have evidence that you can survive difficult seasons. So when the next challenge arrives, do not immediately assume you cannot handle it. You have handled hard things before. You may not know exactly how you will handle this one, but you can take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, sometimes even one step at a time. You do not have to solve your entire life tonight. You only need to decide what the next right action is. Maybe it is getting up. Maybe it is applying for another opportunity. Maybe it is studying 1 more hour. Maybe it is making 1 more attempt. Maybe it is asking for help. Maybe it is beginning again. Small actions matter because difficult seasons are not defeated by one giant moment of courage. They are often defeated by hundreds of small decisions to continue. You wake up, you show up, you learn, you adjust, you try again. And slowly, something changes. You become stronger. Not because life became easier, but because you became better equipped to handle it. That is one of the greatest transformations life can give you. You stop asking, "How can I avoid every difficult situation?" And you start asking, "How can I become strong enough to face whatever comes next?" That is maturity. That is growth. That is power. Your struggle can teach you things that success never could. Successes can teach you confidence, but failure can teach you humility. Successes can teach you what works, but failure can teach you what does not. Successes can bring attention, but struggle can teach you who truly supports you. Successes can make you proud, but adversity can make you resilient. And resilience is something you will need long after one victory is over, because life does not become permanently easy after you achieve one goal. There will always be another challenge, another mountain, another lesson, another level. That is why the goal should not simply be to build a life where nothing goes wrong. The goal should be to build a mind that knows what to do when something goes wrong. When life knocks you down, you learn how to stand. When the plan fails, you learn how to create another plan. When the door closes, you learn how to search for another door. When someone says no, you learn how to keep moving. When fear appears, you learn how to act anyway. That is how strength is built. And one day, you may look back at the season that once made you want to quit and realize that it was preparing you for something you could not yet see. The struggle did not destroy you. it developed you. The setback did not end your story, it redirected you. The failure did not make you worthless, it made you wiser. The pain did not have to become your prison. It could become part of your foundation. So if you are in a difficult season right now, do not demand that yourself to have all the answers. Give yourself time. Give yourself patience. Give yourself permission to learn. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to remain willing to grow. Remember that every strong person you admire has faced moments when they wanted to quit. The difference is that they kept going long enough to discover what was on the other side of the struggle. You may be closer than you think. You may be stronger than you feel. And you may be becoming the person you have been asking life to help you become. Do not let the difficulty of today convince you that you have no future. Sometimes the hardest season is where the strongest foundation is being built. So stand up again. Take another breath. Take another step. Learn from what happened. Carry the lesson, but do not carry the shame. Carry the wisdom, but do not carry the fear. Carry the strength, but do not carry the belief that you are broken forever. You are still growing, and every challenge you face can become another piece of evidence that you are capable of becoming stronger than you were before.